The brother was bad. His name is J.W., and that is the title track from his CD entitled I'll See You Soon. He is a modern-day Funkin rollster who keeps true to the musicians who came before him. And he is Atlanta-based, and I've been wanting to have J.W. on the program for quite a while here on The Upper Room with Joe Kelley. And today's the day. I welcome to The Upper Room Mr. J.W. How you doing, Jay?
Doing very good. How are you, Joe?
You coming through loud and clear, and
good.
And it's just a pleasure to have you on. We've been, your CD is something I bring to every show and just mix up the tracks. And I want to thank you first and foremost for giving us the gift of your music.
Well, thank you also, for even having me on the show, and thanks to everyone listening around the world, also Bridgeport, Connecticut, and it's my pleasure, man, my pleasure.
Well, we've been talking the past couple of days about the state of music, and your CD is just a breath of fresh air. I'll see you soon. Working on these tracks, I know you've been hard at work in the studio. What was your mindset in getting this kind of music out?
Well, the mindset was pretty much just doing what made me feel very good, and watching little kids dance to the music, because sometimes we used to rehearse, at in my apartment, which is a patio window right next to the room, and it would attract little kids on the porch, and they would dance to the music that we would rehearse, which was the music that you're hearing now, actually, one of the songs you just played. But once I saw that, I knew I had something, because kids tell the truth. They'll tell you in a minute if it's not happening. They'll let you know.
And so they must have been telling you good positive signs, right?
Good positive signs, yeah. They were loving it, and I, it was nice to see the kids dancing to real music and definitely being interested in seeing live entertainment opposed to, just someone with a turntable, what have you. It's educational also.
Now the trick is, my question, I guess, is did you get any of those youngsters in to start playing the drums, or are they still hooked on the turntables?
Well, actually, it's funny you mentioned that. It was always 2 or 3 little young guys wanting to play. I let them play a couple of times, but they were really, being very persuasive to get me to let them play on the real drum set, which I thought was very nice. And it's there for them. If you introduce it to them, they would be attracted to it just like anything else, because a young mind is always curious and trying out new things.
Now, let's go back to when J.W. was growing up in Michigan. How did you get into music?
Well, actually, I, of course, by Motown, being in Detroit, and I'm the youngest of four other siblings. And my older brother, he played music a lot back in those days. You had the 45, and of course, he couldn't wait to get his paycheck every Friday to go buy about 12 or 15 45s.
Yep.
But in any case, and so, by Motown being there, Detroit was one of the first markets that would get, the new music, and of course the Motown Revue. And I was introduced to the Revue at an early age. I went with my brother. I was around 9 years old. And once I saw the pandemonium in the Fox Theater at the time, it was very exciting, and it just seems like it never left me.
What did you take specifically from that Motown sound in your songwriting? Anything in particular?
Well, the lyric-wise, being able to try to tell a story, to tell a short story, a positive story, something that will, inspire you. That's what I basically could say that I've took from Motown. One of the things that, they did very well was very good songs, very good songwriting.
And then, of course, you got your indoctrination into the P-Funk sound via one of your sisters, right?
Yeah, my sister Debbie Wright, she was working, doing sessions at an early age. Back then, girls 14, 15, put on a little makeup and get the false ID and get in certain clubs. And I think she met George and them working at the 20 Grand. And from there, she started singing with the guys in the studio. And one thing led to another. After a few years went by, she was one of the first girls with Parliament, on the first Mothership World Tour.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I became to know George, Bernie, Ray, Mike Hampton, and the rest of the guys. And I think I met Bernie and Ray, I think it was like in 1969, man. Yeah.
Wow.
I was a very young kid, about 9, 10 years old. Mm-hmm.
So of course, we're speaking of Bernie Worrell. Bernie actually has been in the studio here with his keyboards, so he's a true nice guy, and it'd be nice if you guys could hook up for something. That would be sweet.
Hopefully in the future we'll be able to hook up with something. I was fortunate enough to play on his first record, All the Woo in the World.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was able to play on a few tracks. I know I played the title track, and I'm not sure. I think it's a couple of more I played, but I was fortunate enough to work on that particular record.
He's doing a track live in his set these days from that record.
Excuse me?
He's doing a track from that CD in his live set these days.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's cool. Yeah, Bernie is kicking live, man.
Yep, the Woo Warriors. Yeah. So, Jay, when you were growing up and you spoke of being around all those talented people, do you remember the first concert you ever went to?
I would say the Motown Revue.
Mm-hmm.
The Motown Revue, it was Little Stevie Wonder, Edwin Starr, a group called the Monitors, Gladys Knight and the Pips, and of course the Temptations, without a doubt. I believe the Four Tops. So I kind of Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. So I had a chance to see pretty much all of them on one stage, and that's pretty much unheard of these days. I was able to see at least 8 or 9 acts, in one particular show. So that was my first concert.
So when is the JW R&B Funk Chronicles book coming out?
Well,
you've got it all there.
I heard that. Well, I'll be doing a show in Sweetwater, Tennessee, at the second annual Freedom Festival. It's by Golden Boy Productions. It's I'll get that information to you to give to the listeners way before April the 20th, but look out for that. And in between that time, I'm working on a new record right now. It should be done hopefully by the end of March. I'm looking at the end of March. Yeah.
So that's really exciting because you just released last year I'll See You Soon, and coming out with something fresh again.
Yeah, well, you have to keep moving, especially in my position. I'm independent record producer, of course, thanks to guys like yourself, we're able to hit a lot of other markets, throughout the world. And once you get a little window in, you want to try to give the people, a little more music. Plus, this is what I do for a living, and I have to keep cutting forever.
Right. That's right. And we should let our listeners know that while they're listening to the interview right now, they can go to jw.com, JAYDOUBLEYOU.com, and they can order the CDs from there, right?
Yes, they can.
All right.
Yeah, all the information they need is right there.
And they can put a bid in for the George Clinton boots. You still got them?
There you go. Yeah. Put a bid in for the boots. The boots are from the album Funkadelic versus Placebo Syndrome.
Right.
The one with Flashlight and Funkadelic. Yeah. But those booths are up on the screen, for those that want a little history, give me a call or hit me on the email and make a bid.
And it'll be a nice accessory for the upcoming live dates you're going to be doing this spring, if they want to wear them to the show.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Right.
They can wear them, Halloween, to the show,
right.
to the moon, wherever they want to go. I mean, they are in very good condition also.
Right.
I must say they are in very good condition. And it's a great part of history.
Yeah.
Those that, would like to have that piece of history, I'm willing to part with it.
So jw.com, and we're going to get into a track off the CD, I'll See You Soon. Right now, this one is called Hurts So Bad. And what was going on in the studio with this track?
Well, what was pretty much going on with that one, now I'm playing clavinet and drums on that song, of course, the writer. And we pretty much just laid it, listened. Got an excellent horn player named Eric Armstrong, actually the late Eric Armstrong. Unfortunately, he passed early last year. And fortunately, I was able to get him on these tracks, forever. But yeah, that song, I had that song for a while. And just one day, listening to it and replaying it, just happened to come up with some nice lyrics and took it from there.
Okay, we'll check it out right now. JW is my special guest here on The Upper Room with Joe Kelley. Pleasure to be with him. And this is from I'll See You Soon. It's called Hurts So Bad. JW will be back in a few moments. So bad, and you can get the full version on the CD as well. And guess what, Funketeers? We welcome back to The Upper Room with Joe Kelley, Mr. JW. You still there, Jay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's great to have you. And how's the Atlanta live music scene and radio scene?
Well, it's pretty much like pretty much any major city. Now, the live entertainment, it's entertainment pretty much all week around here in Atlanta. They have a variety of live music, from jazz to alternative to blues. You can pretty much find whatever it is that you're looking for here, and it's pretty consistent on the entertainment thing.
And of course, you are going to be looking forward to taking your band out this spring, and we talked about the Tennessee date, right?
Right.
And people can go to your website, JW, and people, if you want to get in contact with JW, he is an independent artist, so you can hit him up with an email or a call. All the info is on the site, and definitely get in contact with him. I'm sure the band is definitely going to be live.
Smoking.
That's right. And you are a multi-instrumentalist. Why don't you let people know exactly what you play?
Well, I play, drums, of course. I play percussions. I play keyboards. Play a little bass, and that's pretty much it. And do the writing and the singing and the arranging. But that's pretty much what I do.
Now, what happens on stage when of course, you can't play everything at once?
Oh, well, on stage, I'm pretty much playing keyboards, singing, and playing percussions.
All right.
And, of course, running around and getting the crowd into the music.
Right. Letting all your energy out.
All the energy out.
You grew up on just the bands that set the tone and gave us the recipe of putting on a live show. Today, we talked a little off air about some of the dire straits out there, but there are a lot of great bands such as yourself, your band that is doing it right. What are some of the ways as an independent artist that you're letting people know that you got a great album and ready to throw down?
Well, you kind of do whatever you have to do. I mean, when it comes to selling your record, of course, you get with guys like yourself. I mean, I've sold records in Chinese restaurants. I've sold records in gas stations. I've sold records at music festivals. I mean, when you're independent, you pretty much have to hit the pavement, because, usually independent means you're a little poorer than most record companies, and you don't have the big staff to help you out in, the multiple categories that you have to deal with in the business. So you pretty much do whatever it is you have to do to get your name out there and to get people to your site. Like I say, I keep records on me at all times. I always keep product. If I go from here to Florida or Florida to New York or New York to Detroit, you better believe every spot in between I am trying to sell a record.
Right.
And that's how it's done. And until, you get picked up. And fortunately, with the internet, I'm able to sell records over in Sweden, sell records over in Paris, over in Germany, over in Italy. So the longer you keep going and, the more you become of this business, it pretty much takes care of itself as long as you keep putting forth effort.
See, I think the way you're going, independent artist and myself as a radio show, that is the way it really should be. It's just we hope it turns into a little more easier that, that you could play and create and do that. But
yeah, well, that's the beautiful thing about being independent. You're able to at least write what you want to write without having, say, the executive or the president of a record company to tell you that, no, we don't want you doing that sort of style, because they have really a lot of control over what artists sing and what they don't sing in the industry. And that's one of the advantages that being independent that you have, because you can write exactly what you want to write. As long as you can pay for it, you can write it.
So let's see, you record at your home studio?
Home studio.
All right.
Yes.
If you had a wish list for studio gear that you want to put back in the home crib, you got anything in mind that you'd be wanting to put in?
Oh man, now that's a loaded question because there's so much stuff out there now. It's hard to say, really, Joe.
Right.
It's hard to say. Just I'll put it like this: give me something that works.
I guess if it's a $5 machine and it works and gives you that sound, right?
I'll use it. I'll use it. Yeah, But I mean, Mackie makes nice stuff right now. A nice Mackie board with a Mackie 2-inch tape. A digital Mackie board, shall I say. And that could be about 48 tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of room, for the booth and the inner room, So it's a lot, but I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on when it comes to the things that they're creating right now as far as to try to give you the best sound that you can possibly get.
Now, this might... it probably is too broad of a question, but I'm going to throw it at you. If you could spend a couple weeks in the studio with some of the dream performers to collaborate with, who would some of them be?
Wow. I would love to work with Steely Dan.
Okay, yeah, that would be nice.
I would love to work with... Wow, that's a lot. I would love to work with, say, Tina Turner.
Mm-hmm.
I think she would be nice to work with. Of course, anybody, like the guys I've been listening to, like I would love to do some stuff with, say, with Seal. Seal would be cool. That's who I can think of off the top of my head, but it's a lot of people that I would love to work with. I mean, I just love music, period.
Right.
So it could be a country artist just as much as it could be a jazz artist, I mean, just self-expression. It's a good feeling to hear anybody's self-expression if it's coming from the heart.
So JW, besides being a singer, songwriter, musician himself, is a talented producer, and I know you could put some spark into those artists you mentioned beforehand.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Right.
Brand new. Oh, yeah, I'd love to do some stuff with Janet, too. Janet would be nice.
That's right. She could take a day off from Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Yeah, she can get some of this Detroit funk. Based out of Atlanta.
Right. How often do you get back to Michigan?
I try to get there. I was there last year. I try to get there at least once a year. If not, definitely every 2 years. You know, I have family in Detroit, have family in New York, family in Florida, and I live here in Atlanta with me and my wife. So we pretty much have a busy year just visiting family within the 12 months out of the year, you know.
Now, how did you settle on Atlanta?
Well, Atlanta, I had did some 12-inch records back in 86 and 87. 12-inch single. One is called Talking to Myself, and one is called You Know What She Said. Actually, I'll have to get some of that to you too, Joe.
Oh yeah, I play vinyl.
But in any case, I came here to one of the Jack the Rapper conventions and met a young lady here named Eugenia Preston, which she, you know, enjoyed the music I had, and she introduced me to a guy named Mitch Faulkner, which Mitch Faulkner was the program director of KISS 104 when they first started. They started here in Marietta, Georgia. And, you know, they treated me very well, you know, different from, you know, the big city of Detroit, you know, with the whole pay thing that's going on, you know. And, but they treated me nice here. And back in 93, I was doing a little work up in Florida. And after that work was done, I decided to come here because of that treatment that I received back in 86 and 87. And it's been good.
Yeah, and you're happy down there? Got your home studio?
Oh, yeah, very happy.
That's got to be real nice to just wake up and you don't have to go too far to lay down that funk.
Yeah, it's a very good feeling. It's definitely a blessing to, you know, have it that close to you, you know, when that's what you love to do.
How about when you put the music aside? What do you like to do in your free time?
Free time, I walk a lot. You know, I do a lot of walking. When I do have free time and a little money to go with the free time, I like going to little sport events. You know, go see some sports, go to the movies, and, you know, get with family. And pretty much sometime we'll go to the beach, hang out for a week, and relax that way for a while. And it varies. You know, it all depends on how I feel at the time and how much time I have free.
So why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about this upcoming album? I know it's going to be a little different, or?
Yeah, it's going to be different from the last record. Actually, the title is called White Boy Deal.
Okay.
With, in parentheses, I Want The. And so some people could say it will be called I Want the White Boy Deal. Now, the concept of that is basically just another way of saying that black artists want equality in the business, you know, and it will speak for itself once you hear it. And it's a great track. It's a good track. It's a fun track. And that's all it's saying, that, you know, come on. It's enough music out here to where most people think that if you're a black artist that you rap, which that's what the industry have been pretty much presenting. If it's not that, it's pretty much R&B, you know, slow songs, what have you. And but it's a lot of black people that grew up on rock and roll, still love rock and roll, you know, love all type of music, and we just want to show the people of the world that there are some diverse, you know, black folks in the United States that, you know, do things other than rap. And also, they can play instruments still.
Right. So you're knocking down the myth right off the bat on the new CD, right?
Right off the bat. Right off the bat. And it's basically saying we want the white boy deal. You know, I mean, you know, everybody learn from everybody, and I don't, this is not towards any of the artists. Everyone have a right to, be creative. It's basically just still putting us in a certain category, but at the same time, they have the white artists do what we do, but they still try to knock us out of the box even from that. They just limit us when it comes to marketing and even bigger exposure or even the creative aspect.
And the folks doing the knocking down are driving in a better car than the people creating the music, so that's not right.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm happy that they have a nice car, but was one thing that I've learned, everyone knows their self-worth, you know what I mean? So, and money isn't everything, and, I wish nice things for everyone, because the real ones last.
That's right.
The real ones will be here, their music will be here, and, that's just how it is, but that's one reason why I made a vow to stay independent, to try to get the word out and to not be put in a certain category that the record company would want me to be in. I mean, I have to be free enough to write exactly what I want to write.
Now, today is Dr. Martin Luther King Day, and I want to thank you for sending me that the presentation on the email. So I'll ask you a question about Dr. Martin Luther King. You think some inroads have been made on what he was trying to approach?
Very little. Very little. And I only say that to say, but it has, as far as individuals have came together a lot better. And that's what it's going to take, like in the beginning, that each individual have to do their part into really becoming a better person, not only to themselves, but to everyone around them. But as far as, I think some of the laws are still being ignored when it comes to equality and just a fair shake, but that comes down to each individual, because it doesn't matter, what the law book says. If an individual feels a certain way, that's the way they feel, and there's nothing you can do about it, and there's always a way around certain things. So what people, I think, have to concentrate on is pretty much uplifting yourself first. That way you can always uplift and inspire someone else.
Oh, right on, by J.W.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I got to, one more time, remind our listeners that they should head on right now, if they haven't already, to jw.com, JAYDOUBLEYOU.com, and you can get some sound sample on the MP3s and order up the CDs and just send JW an email. If you just tuned in and missed out on the greater portion of the interview, just send me an email, eastwestdj@AOL.com. We'll be re-airing it on the separate internet feed I do on Saturday morning through Monday morning, so 48 hours of JW. That's going to be great. I'll be looking forward to listening to it again.
Oh, yeah. I'll definitely be checking it out.
And I got to thank you so much, Jay, for stopping by the Upper Room, and you're going to get continued support with me and the rest of the creative funksters out there.
Well, I appreciate it to the utmost, Joe. I mean, it's definitely very nice of you to, take your time to do this, and that you're in it this much to put your energy into it. I appreciate it very much.
So we'll go out with 2 tracks from I'll See You Soon. This track I've been killing. I've been playing it on the internet show as well. My Stuff.
Okay.
Followed up by Funkin Roll.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. So thanks again, JW.
Thank you, Joe.
And we're gonna have you up here on the East, and by that time we'll be pumping that new record too.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. You'll be one of the first to get it, brother.
Okay. Thanks so much, Jay.
Thank you.
This is JW from I'll See You Soon.